Hello everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel of St. Wilfrid's College of Arts, Commerce, Science, Panvel. Today our topic is training and development in HRM part 2, that is the lecture 2. Myself Assistant Professor Tapasya Patil, St. Wilfrid's College of Arts, Commerce, Science, Panvel. Now we will be starting with the topic as methods of training. Methods of training you can see on the job training, that is the apprenticeship programs, jobs instruction training, JIT, planned progression, job rotation, creation of assistant to positions, temporary promotions, committees and junior boards, coaching. Next, you can see off the job training. Off the job training is an external training, contains lectures, straight lecture, discussion method, demonstrations, seminars, reading, television, video instructions, business simulations, cases, presentation, equipment simulators, business games, experimental exercise, root behavior modeling, computer modeling, vestibular training, sensitivity training, that is the T groups, and computer-based training. Now we'll move with the detail of methods of training. In detail, we'll move it. Next is training and development methods is, is classified in two categories. Yes, it is classified in two categories, and that two categories are on the job training and off the job training. Yes, now we will move with the on the job training, on the job training method. This refers to the method of training in which the person learns a job by actual performing. Yes, on the job training means what? In this method, a person learns at an actual workplace by actual performing that job. A person works on a job and learns and develops expertise at the same time. Yes, he works on that job in which he will be working further, so he get a very perfect knowledge about that. He become an expertise in the same. Now first is understudy. In this, employee is trained by his or her supervisor. Understudy is what? The supervisor of the employee train him. The trainee is attached with his or her senior. Yes, trainee is of course attached with his or her senior and called understudy or assistant. Next, second is job rotation. Now this refers to the shifting and movement of employee from one job to the another on regular intervals. Yes, this is the method in which job rotation means the person is shifting from one job to the another, means every person of the organization should be known to the every job. Yes, we could consider the example of the bank, as a person who is on the cashier account also knows about the account opening, also knows about the cash deposit, also knows about the cash withdrawal, also knows about an FT, fixed deposit. So the person could be knowing everything because they are being shifted at the intervals to the every job. Third is special projects. Special projects, the trainees may ask to work on special projects related to the departmental objectives. Yes, in this training, trainees may ask to work on special project. Yes, what are the special project? The projects they have been given just to see how the objectives they could meet. By these, trainees will acquire the knowledge of assigned work. Yes, and also will learn how to work with others. Next, experience. It refers to learning by doing. Yes, of course, experience is the thing we everyone know is we learn by doing that particular thing. This is one of the oldest method of on the job training. Although this is very effective method, but it also very time consuming and wasteful. Fifth, committee assignment. In this, trainees become members of the committee. Yes, trainees become the members of the committee. the committee is assigned a problem to discuss and make recommendations. Yes, what committee does? The committee is assigned a problem to discuss. Yes, the committee has been assigned a problem to discuss and make the recommendations on that. Sixth is coaching. In this, a supervisor or a superior act as a guide or a instructor of a trainee. Yes, the supervisor or a superior act as a guide and instructor of the trainee, and this involves extensive demonstration and continuous critical evaluation and correction. Next, we are moving with off the job methods. Now, off the job methods are vice versa of on the job methods. That is, first we'll start with the special courses and lectures. Yes, special courses and lectures are either designed by company itself or by management of schools. Companies then sponsor their trainees to attend those courses or lectures. Means through the lectures, through the courses, the employees learn the things. Yes, that is not an on-field work. Just we need to pay attention on the lectures. Second, conferences and seminars. The participants are required to pool their thoughts, ideas, viewpoints, suggestions, and recommendations. So by attending a conference and seminars, trainees try to look at a problem from different angles as the participants are normally from the different fields or sectors. Next, selected reading. This is the self-improvement training technique. The person acquire knowledge and awareness by reading various trade journals or the magazines. Yes, the person acquire knowledge himself. They get awareness by reading those journals and magazines, trade journals and magazines. Next, fourth, case study method. This technique was developed by Harvard Business School, USA. It is used as a supplement of lecture method. A case is a written record or a real business situation problem faced by a company. Yes, a case is given to the person and asked to solve that case. The case is given to the trainees and asked to do a discussion or analysis on that case. Next, programmed instruction learning. This is the step self-learning method where the method may be textbook, computer, or internet. Yes, this is the step-by-step self-learning method. The modes are like textbook, computer, or internet. This is a systematic method for teaching job skills involving presenting questions or fact, allowing the person to respond and give the learner immediate feedback. Next, brainstorming. This is the creativity training technique. It helps people to solve the problems in the new and a different way. Yes, brainstorming is what it helps the people to solve the problems in a new way or in a different way. In this technique, the trainees are given the opportunity to generate ideas. Yes, in the brainstorming, of course, the trainees are getting an opportunity to generate the ideas openly and without any fear of judgment. Next, role playing. In this method, the trainees are assigned a role which they have to play in an artificially created situation. Yes, they would be asked to play the particular role and how they will behave in that particular situation. They would be asked to do so. Yes. Next, vestibule schools. Large organizations frequently provide what is described as vestibule schools, primarily to actual shop experience. Yes, large organizations frequently provide the vestibule schools primary to actual shop experience. As far as possible, shop conditions are duplicated, but instruction, not output, is the major objective. Next, apprenticeship training. Apprenticeship training is structured process by which people become skilled workers through a combination of classroom instruction and on-the-job training. Yes, apprenticeship training is a structured process. Is actually a combination of classroom instruction and on-the-job training. Apprenticeship program key personnel. After this, the trainees are provided in basket of memos, letters, reports, requests, and other documents. Next, business games. Business games involve team of trainees. The team discuss and analyze the problem and arrive at discussions. Yes, the team discuss and analyze the problem and arrive at a discussions. Next, behavior modeling. This is structured approach to teach the specific supervisory skill. Yes, this is the structured approach to teach the specific supervisory skill. This is based on the social learning theory in which trainees provided the specific model behavior. Yes, in the specific model behavior, how trainee behaves, we judge through that. Yes, and we could come on the conclusion regarding that employee. Sensitivity T group training. In this type of training, a small group of trainees consisting of 10 to 12 persons is formed, which meets in an unstructured situation. These are not a set agenda or a schedule or a plan. Yes, small group of trainees consisting 10 to 12 persons is formed, that exactly which meets an unstructured situation. Now, 5 steps to creating effective training program. Which are the 5 steps? Assess. First is assess training needs. The first step is the first step in developing the training program is to identify and assess the needs. Yes. Now, where exactly the training is being needed, we need to identify that. We need to assess that. Employee training needs may be already established. Yes. Second, set organizational training objectives. The training needs assessment will identify any gaps in your current training initiatives and employee skill sets. Yes. Now, where the training is required, we would identify the gaps between the current training initiatives. Yes. Now, what the current training is going and where the employee skills are set, we could find the gap between these two. So this gap should be analyzed, prioritized, and turned into the organization's main objectives. Next, create training action plan. The next step is to create a comprehensive action plan. This includes learning theories, instructional design, content materials, and other training elements. Yes, this could include training theories, instructional design, content materials, and other training elements. Implement training initiatives. Yes, the next step we would move with the implementation phase where the training programs comes to the life. Organization need to decide whether training will be delivered in house or externally coordinated. Yes, organization would also decide how the training could be delivered to the employees. Next, evaluate and revise training. In the end, entire program should be evaluated to determine if it was successful and met training objective. Yes. Also, we need to do a survey regarding that, whether this training program was effective, whether what was our aim, our objectives that fulfilled or not. Was the training program successful? We need to analyze that. We need to see that. Feedback should be obtained from all stakeholders to determine program and instructor effectiveness. Thank you.